aware that that theme song is only 60 seconds long? Oh, hold on. You can't hear me? Can you not hear me? Okay.
Can you hear me? Oh, am I the only one on now? This is weird. Oh,
can you hear me now?
I can.
Yep. You can. We're gold. Do you realize that theme song is only 60 seconds long?
The greatest theme song in the history of television.
Kev can hear us both. That's a good sign. What's going on?
Not much. Not much. How are you?
Tell me a story.
I should actually have a story for you one of these days. So,
I'm sad you don't.
If Kevin's here, you want to just bring him on and we can talk about all these great shortbox offerings.
Oh yeah, you want to start a shortbox? Yeah, actually, if he's here, Kev, are you ready to go? Give me a nod if you are.
If you're not, then we can.
Yeah, he's good to go. Oh yeah, we'll just bring Kev on, then we can throw him out after. All right, sounds good.
We can throw him out.
Without further ado,
throw him on after.
Kevin McCormick from Shortbox.
I'm in the door. I'm like a vampire. Now that I'm here, you guys can't get rid of me.
There's no chance. How's it going, man?
What's going on, gents?
Nice to see you.
Yeah, you too. How's my audio sound? I got this stupid lapel mic, and sometimes it makes it worse. Is it all right?
I think it's great.
I think you're
okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Primo.
Well, good. I'm glad I spent the money on it then.
And it looks super cool. So.
Yeah, it feels so professional.
Yeah,
I need one of those little doll hands so I can hold like the baby hand up and talk into it like that.
Even better. I'm sure we have a doll hand around Adam. We can give him.
Or just get my beard out and just flip it onto my beard.
I love that even more.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's it going? Thank you so much for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is fun. It's a nice little break in the day of emailing and living in cyberspace. So not that this isn't real life or anything, but yeah, it's great to talk to you guys too.
It's kind of like fake life.
Yeah, kind of. Oh, Adam, I was going to show you. Let's see if it'll work. Laser light show.
Whoa! What the hell?
Yeah, you can do it on a Mac. You click on the little camera icon in your toolbar, and you go to reactions, and you can get there's that one. There's the double thumbs up, which is fireworks. Double thumbs down is one of my faves. It's a rainy day.
That's amazing.
If you love somebody and give them a little heart, and the little hearts usually pop out of your hands.
Joe, did you know this existed?
No, that was the first time.
I know you could do it in iMessage. I don't know if you could do it with motions on the webcam.
That's amazing. I think this one is balloons maybe, and then this one is balloon explosion or confetti.
This is not your first rodeo. No, you've done this a handful of times.
I like to throw curveball into my Zoom meetings every now and again. So
that is incredible. All right, good note for the future.
Yeah. High tech, baby. It's good stuff. So I was looking at your guys' auction. It's looking nice. You can put some really good stuff in there, and some of those bids are looking pretty good.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about it before a couple hours ago. They seem like this one has been our best one yet. Everything's doing really well. And it's funny because we had a little bit of a technical difficulty getting some stuff up, but we went on with some older stuff that we've had just on the app for a while, and in a while, I mean, 2 or 3 months, and it's just nice to move some of that stuff. And Adam got some more stuff up right at the end of it. But yeah, Adam, do we have some highlights from the?
Yeah, I think we can. So it's funny. I had taken screenshots of these, and actually, guys, give me 1 second. I want to pull up the feed so I can check the comments as they're coming in because it's on a second screen. What I did was throughout the day, I was trying to get overlays ready for this so I could drop some books that we're going to highlight onto the screen, and I had to keep taking screenshots again because the bids kept going up. So I wanted to get the most accurate data as of this is probably as of maybe 15-20 minutes ago. So. Yeah. We'll take a look at some books and cool bids. Avengers 181.
Yeah, this is a great Perez cover. First Scott Lang. Is that I think it's the first Scott Lang. Cool book here. And actually, should we have introduced Kevin? I feel like we kind of know who Kevin is.
Yeah,
I guess
Kevin. Actually, tell us a little bit about Shortbox.
Yeah. So I'm
What's
your friendly neighborhood Shortbox guy. If you don't know who we are, Shortbox is where this auction is taking place, and online marketplace for buying and selling comics, both graded and ungraded. Yeah, I just do all of the customer support and emails and stuff like that. And I go to the conventions. So you may see me bopping around a show if you're out and about on the con circuit this year. And yeah, it's an awesome job. The customers are friggin' awesome. The sellers are awesome. You guys are great. So yeah, that's a little bit about what I do.
Kev, what'd you do before Shortbox?
I managed a comic book shop in Oakland, California, Cape and Cowell Comics, actually.
Oh, I thought it said Cape Cod. So I thought you were,
close.
doing the
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
Just a couple letters off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did that for like 5 years. It started out as like a job when I got laid off from a tech job at another email marketing company, and just started helping out with Wednesday shipments or the unpacking on Tuesdays. And then that just turned into like, hey, do you want to like help me run the shop? So
that's
my
amazing.
buddy Eitan and I still do a lot of he does a lot of sales as well on the app.
I was gonna say they almost do like a weekly auction. I feel like they're always
they've unlocked a bit of their inventory for us, and they've been providing some like really good raw books, like in that 20 plus value range. And we've been running a bunch of raw auctions sort of for them while they also do their weekly hosted auctions. So
nice.
That's probably why you see their name all the time, is because they have a ton of stuff they gave us that's real good that people seem to be eating up. So it's nice that they're local too. So we just like pop over to Oakland and grab the books, and
If I'm not mistaken, they're an Eisner award-winning shop.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They finally won the Eisners 2 years ago.
Oh wow,
that's right, 2 years ago. Because last year, I guess when you win the Eisners, one of your rewards is you get to sit in judgment of the other Eisner nominees the next year. So I remember he got to sit in judgment last year, and the year he won was really cool. It was the year Jim Lee was on the panel, and Jim came up to him and was like, "Hey, Eitan, I don't know if you know who I am. I just, I really appreciate your shop and like everything you do." And he'd been voting for him for, a little while, because this was actually Cape and Cal's third or fourth time in the top finalists, which, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's almost even more impressive, considering once you win, you can never go back for another shot, so.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing. I do like how they bring the last year's guest in to vote.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
They're like, come sit on your throne and judge.
Yes.
I was actually part of that. They did our parents, our dad Andy and our stepmom Veronica, they were the voters on that Eisner Award, I think in like 2017 or 2018.
Yeah.
For Comic Shop. And I actually got, because I was working the show for TED, I got to go to that dinner for the Eisner. So I went with all the judges to this big Eisner dinner, and it was a lot of fun. The guy that was spearheading it was the guy that owned the shop that was in the movie Lost Boys, which was
cool. That's super cool.
He was a super nice guy until he broke out his guitar and started playing songs for us at the at dinner. But it was a great time.
Wait, is that where that photo on the fridge is from? It's that guy?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. That's very funny.
You either love or hate the guy who brings the guitar to dinner. That's awesome. I hear that Eisner dinner's a hoot. Like Eitan's told me about like nights where he's just gotten like just whiskey drunk with like J. Scott Campbell and stuff like that at the table. He says it's pretty fun. They just kind of cut loose and have a good time. It was
pretty crazy, and just keep flowing. I think it was at a Brazilian steakhouse, so it's just. You gotta take a wheelbarrow so you can wheel yourself out afterwards.
Yeah. The meat sweats immediately.
Yeah, it's never good.
That's like Baltimore every year when we do Fogo de Chao after the show. It's just like you anticipate the meat sweats and you leave with those like cheese pastries, like stuffing your pocket.
Yeah, for later. We've done the Fogo de Chao with the Harley crew a couple of times at San Diego. It's a nice little end to the show that they do. How long you been with Shortbox now?
God, what is it, like at least 3, maybe coming up on 4 years?
Oh wow,
year?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. Pretty much since they started back up after like COVID and stuff.
After COVID,
after shows got going. I think that like the first 6 months was my first show with them at I think Emerald City.
Okay.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Emerald's one of the only shows I haven't actually been to, and I've heard good things. Although the last couple of years, I guess, have gone down a little bit. But
yeah, they're still figuring out who they want to be. I think since coming back after the big break, I think they changed showrunners, and there's been a lot of policy changes and like physical changes. Like it's not just in one building now; it's in like 2 buildings that are across the street or a couple blocks away. And when trying to convince a bunch of scantily clad cosplayers to like wander into the retail area, it's probably a little harder of a sell.
Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, great show. It's definitely used to be, and still kind of is, one of like the crown shows of like the West Coast. But just like very few comic sellers this year. Like they need to figure out what they're doing to attract more comics to the room. You know?
Yeah, I feel like Adam and I were talking about it, but it seems like a lot of shows are going the way of. I mean, you guys kind of have done it with your show, more comic centric shows. Whereas
try to, like that's the only way you can bring the people that have like the big wallets that want to spend a bunch of money on books is to bring good books to the show. So and that was kind of the consensus at Emerald City when talking to a few folks. They were just like, booth costs are going up, like stuff's not really like flying off the shelves. And I was like, well, at least you're like one of the few people here that can sell. And they were just like, nah, that's not how it works. You gotta have the good stuff for the potential buyers to show up. You might catch a stray here and there, but that is the biggest thing you can do to influence the quality of a show, at least so far as comics goes. I'm sure there's lots of con attendees that really love the focus on cosplay and meet and greets and tchotchkes and stuff like that.
And there's definitely a place for that
whatsoever. But I mean, it's a massive shift kind of just across the board in the last year or two. Like you've either got shows that are going like hyper focus on comics, or you got a bunch of shows like the big tentpole shows that are just like social media extravaganzas,
Yeah, and it definitely seems like it's going the way of like Little Giant, for instance, which we're going to be at this weekend.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. Tell Jay I say hi. That's such a great show.
And he's really doing a hell of a job of getting the great inventory in. I know Straight Flexion's going to be there. But just the lineup he has is always great. And he kicks people out if they try and sell other things other than comics.
He's real strict. Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, there was that kid that showed up in cosplay a couple years ago. He had the like 8-armed Spidey costume, and he was so annoyed by it that he was like, take it off, clog up the aisle.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's in a huge space. It's like literally a friggin' rec center gymnasium out in the friggin' sticks in New Hampshire. So I like both love and hate that venue, like it's a perfect fit for that vibe for the show. And like the hotel being there with the big dinner afterwards is always really fun. But like, it's a trek, I fly into Boston and then it's like an hour and a half Uber ride to get down there. So
yeah, it's funny because we don't, being so close, we can just drive up there. So it doesn't seem as bad. But if I had to fly in to Boston and then drive an hour and a half to Concord, I'm not sure I
mean, at least you can sleep in the Uber or something, but that's always kind of a weird, like you wake up and you're kind of like, oh, that was weird. I just slept in someone else's car for like an hour and a half.
I know the Harley crew have a hard time driving through the sticks of upstate New York and Western Mass.
Because they come in through Vermont.
They do that whole, and that's tough.
Yeah. That's something a trek for them.
Yeah, that's a massive drive. That blows my mind, just like how many shows they do and how much they drive to the shows.
Crazy.
Like, driving for like the last 5 days. I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Absolutely wild. Kev, is Shortbox Live happening this year?
Shortbox Live this year, we're postponing to 2026. Auctions has been growing so much that we're focusing on that. It's making some good money, making sellers super happy. So we're going to continue to grow that, and then we'll bring it back in 2026 bigger and better. We also ran like a little short on time. We didn't want to like put something up and have it feel rushed or anything like that. So we'll take the time to secure the best artists and the best dealers, and hopefully do something even crazier next year than we did last year. So
yeah, I feel like putting on a show has got to be so much work, so much stress, just so much goes into it.
It's like once you start, it's just nonstop. I have so many other things that are nonstop these days, like auctions, that like they're just thinking of like spending 6 months corralling, dealers, lodging situations and talking to vendors and doing all that stuff. Like we do it because we love it, and the shows clearly show the amount of effort and love we put into it. But yeah, we're just we're gonna focus on the things that the customers are using in the app and grow that out a bit, and then we'll be back next year with more good times for all. I mean, I am bummed that I'm not going to get to see everybody, but it's for probably the best reason that it could be.
That was I don't want to speak for you, Adam, but that's one of my favorite shows. Is what you guys have done the last couple of years. Just fantastic.
Hell yeah, thanks,
it's definitely up there with like Little Giant, and again, it fits that like small town feel. Like, well, not small town feel, but just small
Right.
show feel. Like in a hotel. Something about like carpeted floors in a show, like really what I want.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Also, the ability to just walk to the show from the hotel, I don't need to leave it, is something.
Yeah, that's pretty clutch. I'm a big fan of a sky bridge between my two destinations. It's like staying in Vegas and just walking one long sky bridge the entire length of the strip. It's like I'm not even outside.
Yeah, you don't want to spend any more time outside.
Yeah, C2E2 is a good show for that.
Yeah.
For that reason. So you have the Marriott and the Hyatt, I think.
Yeah,
they're
they've got a
both
couple
connected
that are like pretty well connected to it and real close. I don't think I'm doing C2E2 this year, but we're doing Heroes in Baltimore and San Diego. So I'll see you guys at those ones for sure.
Oh, you guys will be in Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, it's Baltimore is one of the, like, if we're gonna pick a couple of East Coast shows to do, those are definitely the two. Heroes in Baltimore are good stuff. I kind of want to do Terrific Con because I like the idea of being at a casino in the midst of comics and cosplay and all that stuff. But we'll have to see if we'll be able to make that one.
Yeah, TriffCon's fun. It falls into that category of where do you fly into, though. I think you're gonna have to drive like an hour from no matter where you fly into.
Yeah, hang right in.
Yeah. Just have the plane just jump out of it.
Just put my chute on and
yeah. But yeah, we've been loving the auctions. I think we did one and you got us hooked. It's like a drug. It's like I think we've done now 3 in something like 5 weeks or something like that.
Yeah. It's just so easy. If you're already putting in the effort listing books, which it's the best way to generate sales and offers and interest and all that stuff. What is it, like 2 taps to like move a book from your portfolio into an auction, and then you're basically with a good enough low starting minimum bid, you're pretty much guaranteed that's going to sell.
Yeah, we've kind of abandoned. We used to run like weekly eBay auctions, and with the short box stuff, we're getting better results.
Hell yeah!
Your fees are outstanding. There's no hidden fees. There's no hidden costs. It's great.
Clip that, chat.
Yeah.
Flat 10 is nice, guys. I'm just gonna pull up the feed and talk about.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys are digging it, man. Like we're glad to have you. You put up good stuff. It's and I appreciate you guys doing like the low starting bids too, because like it seems counterintuitive to a lot of like people coming in new and maybe haven't run auctions before, but like you can get better results and a better sell-through rate from a lower starting bid than you can by trying to protect yourself with like a $10 or a $15 starting minimum.
Yeah, it's funny because you get burned on some books, but for the most part, I feel like if you're starting a $100 book at $2, you're getting close to that $100. If you start that book at $2 versus 20, I think the $2 actually entices.
You get way more bids on a $2 start. And at that point, the hook's in. Once you've got someone who's bid $2 and has bid their way up to like $50, it's way easier to convince them to bid 60 than it is to convince them 60 off the bat from a $20.
Yeah, exactly. And so we'll definitely continue to do those cheap bids, and we're loving it. So
we had a guy who was doing $5 minimum bids. He wasn't getting a ton of sales, and then we were like, try 3, try 2, and he's like, all right, let's do 3. And then he ended up with like a 75% sell-through rate with like 550 as the average order value. So he got, the minimum he wanted by lowering it, and he sold like 4 times more books.
Yeah,
so
it's the way to do it.
Yeah, proof's in the pudding. The numbers don't lie, but we also understand that, people don't want to lose money. I get it. So
it's tough. Some books you're really slim on margins.
That's the thing, really, is if you have the inventory and you got it for a good amount, then it's a little less stressful. If you've got like real rigid margins or very thin margins, it's auctions typically aren't a good way to go no matter where you try and sell them. Like you're just gonna have to list it and wait for someone to buy it, or except the fact that to move this, you're going to need to maybe reduce your expectations a little bit.
Adam, anything in the chat?
Yeah, a lot of hate for eBay. It's funny. It was playing twice on the computer, but a lot of praise for the $2 starts. My comments have they're getting filtered, I think, but I'm trying to keep up with it as best I can.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm hoping that we can obviously get on the more consistent. I know we've kind of been doing every other week.
Yeah, like every
we can kind of stick to that, and hopefully we can keep to that, come up with a more consistent auction.
Dude, if you guys have the books and the time and you want to keep rolling, we can go weekly. I mean, that's kind of like what I consider like the gold standard right now. Like we have a number of folks like Cape and Cal, they're doing weekly. You guys are right there. I mean, the performance is there. We just, if you want to add another one onto the list, as long as you feel like it's not, because that's the other thing too. I don't want someone to do like 200 item auctions and then struggle to ship stuff for like a month, even though I'm not concerned about that being an issue for your guys.
Yeah,
it's just whatever you're comfortable with.
It is. So. It is funny. It's now added an extra day of shipping for us, which is totally fine. Obviously, it's just you definitely have to account for that. And sometimes you don't. You get so excited with like selling all this stuff, and then you're like, oh my god, we sold all this, and then Monday morning you're like, oh, I got this whole short box. I got to now ship out.
Well, thankfully too, that's the other big benefit of a hosted auction is, if you've got this nice low start, you can throw a bunch of filler stuff in. That 100 sales in a 100 item auction doesn't mean 100 packages. Like you get combined shipping. So sometimes it's like one dude wins all 100 items.
Yeah,
and that makes it really easy.
It does. Yeah. Nice. One package is definitely
just a big old comic brick. Just send it out in the mail.
Shipping is what, $8, then plus $1 for every additional raw
raw books. Yeah. For graded, it's 15, I believe, for the first, and then something like 5 or 7 or something for each additional. It's in our FAQ.
I think more than
people can reach out to me around that.
More than reasonable.
Shall we go now? Shall we show show some of the books out?
Yeah, that good call. That was I don't know what I was thinking. Let's
what happened is I was on the phone, Kev, right before we went on this. Usually Adam and I have like a debrief about 15 minutes before, and we didn't have the debrief of how we want to approach this. So we're chickens with our heads tonight.
So F it, we'll do it live. So it occurred to me that I can actually share my screen so we can look at the live, a couple of these auctions like live and what their current bids are. So those screenshots were useless.
Oh, no, that worked for nothing.
Give me 1 second. Let's see how they come up first. Let's see how it's going to pull up. Can you see that?
Kinda.
I can see this. I can see Strange Academy and the superheroes.
Yeah. Actually, I take that back. We're going to stop doing this. We'll just pull up the screenshots. I don't think I can get the whole thing in there. All right, we're going to stop screen sharing. Let's just look at, so these were the current bids as of probably an hour ago at this point. The Avengers 181, Joe, like you said, great George Perez cover.
Yeah, for Scott Lang, which is cool. And as Kev was saying, there's a lot of just kind of run filler stuff here, but still some cool books. I think this one is in that mid-grade range, Adam. I don't know if you got that down.
Yeah. I think this is in the like 6.0 to 7.0, or what, the VG Fine to like VF range. I think it was also like maybe a 7.0
around there.
Hey Adam, I was able to narrow my browser window for the auction on shortbox.com, and it does collapse down to 1 tile per row at a certain point.
Oh,
not sure if that helps. So you can just like scroll through and look at the details on them.
I gotcha. Let me give that a go.
Yeah, that might make it a little easier. And then you get like all the current bids and all that stuff too.
Yeah, that would be ideal. All right, let's see here. Oh yeah, look at that, Kev. Oh, you're a genius.
There you go.
He's not just
a pretty face.
No.
It's not just a pretty face.
So are we just gonna be able to scroll down?
That's funny. All right, there we go. You fellas are back.
I can hear you.
All right, that was a mess. Kev, we're gonna keep you in the corner if that's
that's cool with me, man. If you can make me smaller,
awesome,
I feel bad taking up so much screen space, but that's an
admin
thing.
Yeah, I think I can't.
Okay.
I think you're stuck the way you
Okay.
are. All right, Primo.
So I can't pick my
So
nose.
Savage She-Hulk number 1. CGC 96. This current bid's at $96. I think this is didn't they just announce her in she's gonna play a prevalent role in something?
Yeah.
Yes, no.
It's hard to
I'm
keep
not
track of all the Marvel announcements lately.
Yeah, there's just so many of them that come in. It's tough to really do. I know she had her own show. I heard that it was not very good. I didn't watch it myself. I don't know, Kev, if you keep up with all the
It's pretty
shows.
good. I mean, it just like kind of depends on what you're expecting. It's not like a Marvel blockbuster beat 'em up. It's more of like a campy, comedic take on the character, which I think fits the vibe of that series pretty well.
Yeah,
But,
that kind of, if you're gonna do it, I would definitely think that's
like,
the way
better,
to do it.
yeah, better that than her just beating a bunch of people's
Yeah.
asses and stuff. You know, like there's a time and a place for everything, and
Yeah.
I think they did a good job with nailing the tone. I don't think I finished the show, but I liked the episode or two that I watched.
What I really like what you guys do is the fair market value. I think that really just helps out. You know, it kind of takes GP or even looking up the sales on Shortbox app.
Yeah.
Makes it just cuts it right out, makes it easy for both the buyer and the seller.
Right. And when you're putting the book in, you can see like the records that we have for the historical sales. So and if we can't determine that based on what's available, then we don't put an FMV. You know, we'd rather be accurate than inaccurate. So
yeah, and you know, there's so many books that sometimes it's just there's no data on some of them, but I really like that feature. It makes it so much easier pricing books on the when you're loading them up into Shortbox is
little green dot, yellow triangle, or red square is a pretty quick and dirty way to price your books in a range.
Exactly. Yep. What else we got, Adam? Oh, this is probably my favorite book in the whole lot of them. The auction, Marvel Superheroes 20, great Larry Lieber cover. I think this is my favorite Doom cover. I don't know about you guys, but
yeah, it's great.
This thing is striking. Yeah, I think it's up there for Joe. Did this make it in the bracket? The cover?
No,
bracket?
It didn't actually. Did not.
Oh, that's funny. I think it's wildly iconic. Just great Doom pose. Really cool book. Again, I think this is in that 5.0 range. It's got a slight little spine roll, but overall solid.
I think we ended up calling this about a 6. So we put that in that mid 5 to 8.5 range. But that's doing well, like the She-Hulk is.
Yeah.
And guys watching, these all end tonight starting at 10 o'clock, right, guys? 10 Eastern.
Yeah, I believe 7 p.m. Pacific. So yeah, 10 p.m.
10 Eastern.
Yeah, right now it's 3 hours and 37 minutes left on that one. Strange Academy 1. Kev, did you ever read this series? Because you're a big modern guy. Like
I loved it. I loved it. The art was incredible, man. Like Roberto Ramos, his stuff is. I've been a fan of his ever since he did like those, like early 2000s Spider-Man runs. Like him doing Hydro and Shock and like having like, you know, drawing out all their powers was super cool. I really like the art. And like the story, who doesn't like a younger generation of actually pretty well developed and thought out characters for the most part, you know?
And it's different than like everything else. It's just not like a regular superhero team that they're throwing out there.
Yeah, I'm a fan, and I think the public has spoken, and this book is beloved because, you know, it's just another great collection of a group of misfits, you know, that's trying to figure out their spot in the larger superhero world.
Which is what we all are, right? A bunch of misfits just trying to find our spot in the world.
Right. I love that Dormammu kid. Like his little like flaming pumpkin head is just like so cool whenever it's on the screen, because when you know, they draw out his expressions and stuff, it's always so cool.
Now, Adam, did you read The Strange Academy, or? I never did. No, the last really modern series I read was Paper Girls. But Strange Academy has been on my list. I think it's on my Kindle right now. It's on my to read, and I haven't gotten around to it.
Oh, nice! You do it on the Kindle?
Yeah, I don't love it. I think the Paperwhite screen loads comics like a little weird, but it does the trick. You know, it's nice that I can load that much onto something and carry it around.
But, well, I think they did. I think they did this Strange Academy in the kids. digest sized collected works. So if you ever need like a
Oh,
pocketbook
really?
for just reading on transit or something like that, I think they have a couple volumes of that available at the comic shops.
Oh, that is, maybe I'll pick it up that way. Joe, you read the original Spideys in those
I
pocket-sized
did. Yeah,
books,
that's
right?
how I read Spidey. I think 1 to at least 20.
Yeah.
I forget if I read after 20 like that, but those are how I read them. Yeah.
Dude, I read
that's
the entirety of Sandman on my cell phone screen on the public transit back when I was living in Oakland.
Oh, that's crazy.
Such a small screen.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Kev, one thing I noticed, because you were in Japan too, the amount of people reading manga on the train was crazy, panel by panel, like the endless scroll.
Dude, I ended up
wild.
standing on a packed train in Tokyo during like commute hour as my first experience in the sardine can press of the throngs of people that hop on at that time of day. And I stood there unable to move, and I looked over to the right, and this dude was watching the current episode of Dandadan, and which is like an awesome show on Netflix. And I was like, oh, I haven't watched this episode. So I just stood on the train and just watched anime on this guy's phone, like a foot away.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, they're huge consumers of that stuff. It's wild. Like old ladies reading manga on the train. Like that's just a thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just so prevalent.
Yeah.
And again, like on the phone, it's just absolutely wild. But that is dedication there.
Were you guys in Japan a month apart? Was that it? Was Kev went and
about I think a month and a half.
Yeah.
You came back on Halloween, right?
Mm-hmm. I came back a few days after Halloween. I left beginning of November.
Probably 2 weeks after that.
I did Halloween in Shinjuku or Shibuya. Halloween in Shibuya. That was crazy.
They don't celebrate, do they?
They don't celebrate, and actually because of all the, I think, like not riot but like crowd control issues they've had over the years, they actually outlawed like costumes and drinking in the streets, which is normally just fine there for the night.
That's
so
crazy.
You're like wandering around and like on random corners, it's just like the whole block's barricaded with these huge like platforms where they're like yelling over a megaphone like no public drinking. And of course there's still like drunk people in costumes stumbling all over the place, but they're making an effort.
It's funny that is the one night that you can't drink in public there, you know?
Yeah. I mean, where it was really prominent and makes a lot of sense when you think about it is they had the no costumes in the bathrooms signs everywhere because they didn't want like maybe people sneaking in. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, totally fair.
So most of the stuff like that is designed to protect the people out there. Like, there's tons of like anti-perv measures in Japan, oddly enough, but you know.
Oh man. Up next, we got Ultimate Spider-Man #1.
Sick.
Yeah, CGC 98, cool book. White pages. Is this from 2018, Adam? Can you read the
20?
That's newer than that.
Is it newer than that?
I think this might be 20. These might be last year.
Yeah, I think 2022 or 2023 maybe.
Yeah, it's so it's not in front of me, but yeah, fairly recent. So that's white pager, which all modern books.
Oh, look at that, pages. 24. Yeah, you guys are both right. Last year.
Yep, it was 24. Nice. That's crazy. Now my question is, how the hell did we end up with this book?
Yeah, it definitely. That's a good point. It must have happened in some kind of trade. Usually for a modern book like this, it usually is 9.8 if we're trading for it. But yeah, sometimes Kev, it shows you don't know whatever something unique is always walking up to the booth.
Yeah.
Actually, we picked it up in Baltimore when Kev was right around the corner from us. And it just things happen, and you're just like, oh, it's kind of cool, and give it a shot. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, it's very rare in those situations that you're paying top dollar either. So it's a little more, usually there's multiple books in play and you're, I'll take a risk. I'll check it out. I'll
give it a shot. Yeah.
But yeah, $53 on this. I feel like that's, we'll see how it goes. 3 hours left and, 9.8. I love this cover. I love that white border. Almost picture frame-esque. I think it's, that really makes the image pop.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And the majority of your big like surge in bidding at the end of the auctions in that last hour. So you know, if you're new to the short boxed auctions and you are not familiar with the concept of sniping, be sure to get your bids in early because the auctions just end when they end. There's no extension or anything like that.
Yeah, I like it. No fooling around. Put your bids in. If you win it, you win it. That's it. Yep. Nothing.
Well, you know,
crazy.
like you'll be doing a heritage auction and you'll be like waiting for this thing you're bidding on to close, and then like 4 hours later you're still waiting because people just keep bumping those bids.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's why I advocate for you guys so much, is because there's literally no frills. It's just like, listen, here it is, here X, Y, Z. Like that's it.
I mean,
to
be honest, it's like on our end it feels too complicated. Like when I talk to people about auctions, they're like, tell me about auctions. It's like we have posted, we have curated, we have consignment, we have community. So I mean, we just don't want to add any more complexity on top of it. We need it to work well, and it's doing the trick, and you know, it's succeeding. So
if those people have understood eBay for as long as they have, there's no reason why they can't understand short boxed auctions.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Shade the changing.
Yeah, this is this might be the steal of the auction so far. $5, 9.6, 1973, I think it came out. I'm actually pulling it up right now. 77, I think. It'd be 77. But I mean 9.6 for a book from 1977. First appearance of Shade. It's gotta account for something.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm shocked this is only at $5 given the fair market value. I don't know about you fellas, but and this is a very stupid thing. I think I'm just really particular. I hate the old CGC label.
Yeah. So this is like the second generation CGC label, right?
Yeah. If it's not current, I think these cases are like a tad bit foggy. And they just don't have that crystal clear like shine that the ones do. And I know it's a silly deterrent because just get it reholdered for $20-$25, but for some reason it mentally I just look over it.
Like why is the grade number always so gray? Like even the white on it doesn't match the white on the bottom of the gradient, you know? Like
why is it off center?
Yeah, that too. I remember back when they had more issues with label placement. Some of them were pretty atrocious.
It's a stupid complaint. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's still obvious.
I think the first one where the title is like tiny that you can't even read it. I think those ones
I hate those. You know how back in the day when it was only marketplace, no auctions, and people would upload old CGC like first gen cases, it was like 8 out of 10 times I'd have to email and be like, "Can you please read me the cert code on there?" I zoomed in and I still can't read it.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
It's so damn small. Yeah. I highlighted this book in that reel that we did a couple days ago. Just absolutely amazing cover art here. Showcase number 33, CGC 30. I think this is off-white to white pages.
Third Aquaman, because 30, 32, 33.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's the third Aquaman showcase.
And I think Aqualad's kind of a goated character, personally, but
yeah.
Is it the tiny shorts that does it for you, or?
No, it's just like
he's just around all day.
Oh man, I love when we don't overthink characters. It's like, hey, it's Aquaman. All right, what do we call a sidekick? Call him Aqualad. Like, all right, perfect.
Aquaboy.
Like, there's no in that.
Water boy.
But $21. I'm just gonna bid on our own auction if this thing doesn't go for more. So
I mean, it's a great cover. Giant alien fish creature there is awesome. Carrying a gun. Who knew fish could carry a gun? That wasn't named Andy. No.
I was waiting for a fish on there. Yeah. I love the fuchsia garment, or like the magenta garb that the fish food's wearing. Like kind of like those old like the pop collar and Champions, where like they used a bunch of pink on the covers. I love that shit.
Great.
Yeah.
It also seems they imprisoned their own. I've never heard the story, but he's got his own species in the cell next to him.
Aquaman and Aqualad are the reason we have Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy too. So I mean, there's always
good point. All right, totally awesome. Hulk number 1.
Another book that I think we got in trade. Because if you watch any of our Tuesday shows, we don't typically have too many modern books. We actually save a lot of the modern, especially slabs for short box Yeah, it's a cool cover. Hulk, if he didn't need guns before, he needs them now, and he needs a lot of them. But CGC 98,
Yeah.
what's this one at, Adam?
This is only a $2. FMV's 40
wow.
to 50, $54.
Yeah, lots of deals.
His guns kind of look like crutches. It makes me laugh. But
yeah, that does look like crutches.
yeah. All right. I'm gonna skip over a couple of them. Maybe because I think we have about 60 bucks. We'll do a few more.
Yeah.
Infinite Crisis #5. This is a cool sketch cover.
That's a cool sketch cover.
Second, it's at $12, 9.8 white pager.
I think there were a couple I wanted to go over. I want to go over the Captain Marvel Adventures 73, Adam, because we did. I think this is the first time we've had some Golden Age in the short box auctions.
Yeah, that Fawcett book.
Yeah.
Death Blow. Who doesn't love a good foil lettering Death Blow issue? I think I have like 6 of those in my 90s box.
Black cover.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. This is peak 90s.
Yeah, that and like Shaman, and like there was a whole bunch of titles like that where it's just like a monochrome cover and like a foil logo lettering. Good shit.
Really, really high print runs, and it was like we were all fish in the 90s. Like shiny stuff will make them buy it, you know?
Yeah, 100%. That's how we're gonna become millionaires, man. Gotta get those Turok #1s, you know?
Waiting for it.
Oh,
Flaming Carrot #1. So this was at $2. Like I think the screenshot I took, it was at $2. So I'm glad that this is now gone up a little bit. CBCS 7.5. And it's signed. I didn't know it was signed.
Yep. Signed on the first page.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. Is this their verified signature slab?
Yeah, that's a weird CBCS label. I think that was a real short time color they were doing for a bit there.
Yeah. Well, because they were.
It is verified.
Okay. So yeah, because they were verifying signatures before CGC. They did it right from the start of CBCS. They were verifying signatures.
Yeah.
Which always made it a little better because, like if you were to CGC this at the time, you would have gotten a green label saying that it was signed on the first page. But,
have you either boys ever read Flaming Carrot?
I've not.
I flipped through the Omni a little bit on a lunch break at work. It was cool. It was like super offbeat and kind of weird. I like weird stuff like that.
Really? I give that a go. Roadhogs from Outer Space. I'm shocked that I haven't read it yet.
There's a lot of random anthropomorphic like groups and characters around that era, like Usagi and the Critters and like all that weird like early 90s stuff.
Yeah, it's weird that it like trends have always existed. And I feel like the superhero craze, you see that with indie stuff, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like even underground stuff in the 70s. Yeah, Joe, this Captain Marvel Adventures is 73. I love this book.
Oh yeah, it's great. Just love looking through like the opposite view of the magnifying glass and seeing his eye is just, it's great.
His eye. Captain Marvel becomes a petrophile. So hey kid, you want to read a story? Captain Marvel starts collecting rocks. All right, yeah, sign me up.
I could see someone with a slight speech issue really delivering the wrong message with that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Captain Marvel gets a hobby. This is great. $22 for a Golden Age book. Mid-grade. Joe, do you know what the grade was?
I think it's about a 5.0 to 5.5 range.
Okay.
It's a solid book. It's got nice pages. I think the color is the color is not great on it. I think that's really why we downgraded it. But it's structurally really nice.
Kev, are you a Golden Age guy?
I love Golden Age. I love buying Golden Age because you usually get it for like nothing. You go to like a consignment store and it's just like a random abandoned box sitting in a stall, and flip through it and you find like cool robot covers and alien shit. Like I love Golden Age stuff. I'm not I can recognize some stuff now, like certain artists and things like that. But for me, Golden Age is just a vibe, and I love the vibe.
Yeah, I mean the 50s sci-fi is like some of my favorite. I think it's just so obscure, so friggin' wacky.
Strange Adventures, like all that stuff.
Yeah,
like a space turtle with teeth getting blasted by a laser and a robot flying. Like,
you got
fever
giant
dream.
hands coming at you.
Yeah,
Snowmen
and then you know,
laser
getting into
beams.
like the EC and like the horror type Golden Age stuff. Like some of those covers are just incredible and gory and brutal, which is pretty badass.
It does get a little crazy, but you know, love it.
Yeah. I made a comment in another video I did a while back. It was like, it's super funny how like the Golden Age stuff, you know, they have the labels like hypodermic cover, beheading cover, bondage cover. Never says bondage cover when they've got like Aqualad tied up.
No.
It's like a total generational thing. It's just super funny when I realized that.
We label them bondage covers if we notice it. If Aqualad's tied up, we call it a bondage cover. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. And most of the bondage ones are like ladies in red dresses too, which I didn't realize at first.
Yeah, well, that's all they wore in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
Red dresses.
La passion.
Everybody was wearing red dresses.
Oh man, that is such a good point. We don't ever know when
Robin, you know how many times that fool's been tied up? Like, good lord.
That's freaking good. Avengers 54. We got this in the 50 to 85 range. I feel like that's what a lot of our books. I mean, a lot of the Silver Age stuff is in that range up in our auctions. But $28 right now.
Yeah, first Ultron.
I love these.
I love Claw. Such a good villain.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, I really didn't. I thought they kind of missed him in the Black Panther movie. That's what he was in, right? Black Panther.
Yeah.
I think the first Black Panther. Yeah, I liked the movie, but I thought Claw was just a little disappointing. But great villain. And then the next one, Adam. Yeah, nice. I just throw in a Western for you.
Nice. Yeah, Mighty Marvel Western number 4. You know, great reprints here. Herb Trimp cover, which is neat. I think it's funny. I think the Rawhide Kid kind of looks like Hulk a little bit. But really cool. This is the best way to read those early Westerns, because you're not gonna be. These are all reader copies, and they go for really nothing. I imagine this book's gonna go for $5-10, but still well
and
worth
it's nice, and it's square bound, which is cool. Those early ones are square bounds.
Bang for your buck, man. You were getting a lot of book out of this, Yeah.
I love on these older books too, like how much they pay attention to like the lettering and the composition of the cover, like paneling and shit like that. Like that's super.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely striking. Yeah, I'm a fan. Read those Westerns. X-Men 95.
Yeah, second new team, or second issue of the new team in X-Men. Yeah, this is
104.5. I know this has a little crunkle at the bottom right. You can kind of see it's got some wear.
But great cover. I believe this is Cockrum, and just really killing it at this point. Love Cockrum.
Got you guys a little bonus for those of you guys that have been hanging out in the live and really sticking with us here, going through these. Shortbox is providing a promo code to you guys. So unfortunately, promo codes don't work on the auctions, but if you want to make any purchases on the marketplace side of things within the next month by the end of April, promo code RoboPicto will get you $15 off your purchase of $100 or more. So
thanks so much, Kev. That's
nice. No problem. I forgot to do it before we started the live, so I was panicking, but somebody back at HQ got it put together for me. So we're good.
Kev, you guys.
Do you want to put that in the chat?
You guys do good work. Yes, yeah, I'll copy and paste that in the chat.
Yeah, thanks so much, Kev.
Yeah, no problem. Just important to note, for those watching, like only on the marketplace. If you go to the auction and check out for an invoice, it's not going to work.
Don't try and do it on the auction. It's not going to work.
Kev, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Kev, you got time for
I got all the time, more? Man. I'm good. This is fun.
You're too good. You're too damn good to us. The Unexpected number 111. This reminds me of that the Tim Holt, the Zodiac cover.
Oh, it kind of does. That's
so sick.
Like we had the poor man's Punch 12 from the Bronze Age horror a couple weeks ago on the show, and you're right. This is kind of like the poor man's Tim Holt. What is it? Is it 17? I'm gonna pull.
I'm actually not sure. Kev, are you familiar with that cover?
Yeah, it rings a bell. I don't know which issue number it is.
It is crazy that it's supposedly the Zodiac was inspired by that thing, right?
Yeah, that's
That's crazy.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I guess whatever like the lettering is, or the messaging on there he used in like a letter one time.
Oh, okay.
So it's not found anywhere else. Something like that.
It's Tim Holt number 30, and on the cover of it, it says, let's see, it says by fire, by gun, by knife, by rope, which is what one of the original letters to the San Francisco Chronicle, I think it was.
Ooh, spooky.
So they think that he got inspired by the Tim Holt 30. I think it's just a way to sell a Tim Holt, which is always beneficial to everybody if you can sell one more Tim Holt. It is
that era was very like shock value to sell stuff too, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it is a cool cover. I think all those Tim Holts are great.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. That's a great Tim Holt cover.
It is, and yeah, you're right, Adam. It kind of gives that vibe. And the color scheme works too.
This DC, it does. This DC horror stuff I think is great. I can't say it's underrated now because it's really starting to guys are looking for it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, horror's back in a huge way, just kind of across the board. The last, I don't know, 5 years. I feel like horror's just been like, more horror titles winning awards and more content coming out, and I feel it. It's great stuff.
I mean, we're always a fan when horror's on top. I think I'm a little more of a fan than you are, Adam, when it comes to horror, but like the Bronze Age stuff is just killer stuff, and it was untapped, and I think you're right. People are now starting to appreciate it, which is great. So
yeah, I put all my eggs into Westerns, and I'm now starting to regret it because there's such cooler books out there, but nevertheless,
you can pivot. You're a young man. You got this, bro. I believe in you.
Tell you what, if it ever comes back, I'm buying y'all dinner. All right. This Marvel Team Up 53 is a cool book.
Yeah, this is early Byrne, I think, in Marvel. Yeah, okay. I think that's.
I want to know what's going down in New Mexico.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. Apparently,
it's a nightmare in New Mexico.
I love the Hulk's hair on this. It's just it's an iconic do.
John Hurt on X-Men, his first work on X-Men. Yeah.
Oh, no way. Oh, neat. Current bid $8. Yeah.
And I think that's closer to the 8.5 range. I think that one was pretty nice, if I'm not mistaken. So.
I think you scanned this, Joe, right? Yeah.
I love that, all red.
Great. He was really feeling it at this point. Like just amazing stuff. Him and Sinnott just on fire. Just seemed like every issue the cover almost gets better and better.
Classic Kirby for sure. Because did we go over what do we have, an 89 as well?
FF? Yeah, I think we do. Yeah. Got a couple of raw FFs, 300s.
Let's see. Actually, 149. Let me ask you a question. What masthead do you guys like better?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I like the original. I
like that one on top. Yeah.
The original is. I think it is much better. What is your favorite masthead in comics? This is a question I like to ask a lot.
Okay, hear me out. Probably the is it Vertigo Hitman?
I know what you're talking about. Yep.
So that cover still, to me, Hitman #1. It's like a dark blue sky background and a bright red Hitman lettering, and it looks three-dimensional to me. No matter when I go and look at it, it lives a little rent free in my head.
Oh, that's freaking gold.
I'm gonna have to look this up because it's not ringing any bells for me.
Yeah. Hitman #1, I think it is. Let me see. Hitman.
I'm just gonna go with any big logo masthead, Adam.
Any big logo. I freaking love it.
But even like the cap masthead here is really cool. You know, the red, white, and blue in the cap is awesome.
Yeah, this
And
is
I think if I'm
neat.
not mistaken, this is a nice copy.
Yeah, I think I might have handled this book. Definitely in that 8.0 range, if I'm not mistaken. This was a highlight. Demon 4, Simon Mike Royer, signature series.
Yeah, really nice book. Love the reds here, really pop, and Royer and Kirby are a great team, I think. And Royer is such a nice guy too.
He will be a Little Giant this weekend.
Will we.
Oh yeah,
as will we. Little Giant, Concord, New Hampshire.
Who's doing the dinner this year? Who are the guests?
I think it's Starenko again.
Nice.
I think it's Starenko, and then yeah, I think it's all the big artists. I think Royer is going.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't want to misspeak.
Yeah, I've been to a couple with like Milgram and Starenko, and Starlin was there one year, I think, right?
I don't think we've ever done the dinner. I feel like we've always had something after the show we've had to get back for.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever done the dinner.
Yeah. All right, we'll do one or two more books, and then we'll.
The Amazing Spidey 298 was pretty cool, Adam. I don't know if you want to go to that one. Nope, down.
Yeah, did I scroll
past down.
There we go.
So this one was cool because Kev, this one had I think like 35 likes on it.
Yeah.
When we decided to put it to auction, and that was one of the things we were like, let's just put things that a bunch of people like up on the auction. And
yeah.
I think we had it up for like $80 or whatever. And nobody grabbed it, which I'm kind of surprised by 25 or 35 people liking it and nobody just pulling the trigger. Great McFarlane run, the 298, 299, and 300.
I think a lot of people, I mean, it's similar to how I use like the watch list on other marketplaces, like just to see what it goes for eventually or to go back and look at it.
Yeah.
And our app isn't really built in that way, like going back to look at a past sale, but like I don't think that behavior is like easy to like retrain in people. You know, there's like, oh shit, I've got that one, like I'll come back and check on it later. But that book is part of like there's a few in this like lead up to 300 that are all really appealing to folks. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
White pager, definitely cool to see, like, you know, if it was sitting there for a while, like whether or not guys just had it for that reason or like they were interested in it to see it hit auction and see how it does.
Yeah, I love hearing that story from sellers where they're like, I pulled this super random book off my eBay. It's been sitting there for a year at $100. And I just sold it for $120 on the app.
Oh yeah, like, nothing better than
with old stale inventory and not continuing to upload and keep your stuff current. Like your books will just sit around for a long time. So auctions is a kind of easy peasy way to turn that into money.
Yeah, and it helps out collectors. You know, they're getting things for decent prices, and
yeah, I mean, and I feel like sometimes you're honestly, you hate to, but like you're sick of looking at it. You're just like, all right, like just take it away, you know.
It's like you have a bunch of roommates not paying rent. You know, they're just hanging out. You're just paying to store them under a thing that you don't go under because there's stuff under there. You know, I'm a big fan. I'm super hypocritical. I got like 65 or 70 short boxes to the left of me, but
we all do. We just keep it out of camera view.
Yeah.
You never do your goddamn dishes. Get out. This I guess you want to end with this Dave Stevens book?
Yeah, cool Dave Stevens book.
All right.
That's dope.
Yeah, what Eclipse graphic album series number 15, or Twisted Tales. Dave Stevens from 87, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Just this was one of those books that, you know, along with every other Dave Stevens cover, just got really, really hot when that documentary came out. Definitely a cool book.
Yeah, definitely edgy. You know, we're getting a little bit of side boob here. So I think that, you know, guys are probably attracted to that.
Big fan of the side boob. Big fan.
Big fan. 9.6 white pager. Yeah, Dave's talk about stuff that's hard now. Dave Stevens, I feel like is he's up there. I feel like we're constantly at shows getting asked for Dave Stevens books.
That's a great one.
His stuff has such like an old timey vibe to it. You know, there's so many people I talk to that don't really know Dave Stevens that are like, I'm looking for this book. It's a golden age book. And I'm like, that is not a golden age book.
No,
that's just Dave Stevens doing his damn thing.
Dave Stevens not working on the gold
That's a
page.
good point.
He's got very good, awesome
His,
pinup
his-
designs and like character body designs and stuff. They just sort of smack of that older era.
His aesthetic is kind of timeless. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
I mean, Rocketeer is like primo in my mind. Like it fits that historically that era. It also kind of has that like, I don't know, jazzy vibe.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Rocketeer. Very like art deco-ish.
Mhm.
Yeah, really neat stuff. Those Pacific Presents, is that where the Rocketeer appears?
He appears in that, yeah.
Yeah.
Not for the first time.
And those are always like dual stories, right? It's like Rocketeer and then like I think there were some Spirit collabs and other odds and ends, but yeah, I like Dave Stevens. Cool dude. R.I.P.
Yeah, too bad. Well, Kev, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it.
Man.
Guys, check out the auction. It starts ending in 3 hours from now, 10 p.m. So still a lot of deals to be had. And Kev, thanks so much. We appreciate it, man.
Yeah, guys. I'll come back anytime. Thanks for having me. Oh, wait. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
That is a way.
Next time you're on, we're gonna all be able to do that.
Yes.
Kev, we will have to bring you back for Picto and Friends where you showcase some of your personal books.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I guess I better get the shovel out because I'm gonna have to dig some stuff up.
Yeah.
We'll give you more of a heads up.
That's cool.
I can show off a bunch of my like hard to find like hardcovers and like collected stuff. That'll be easy.
We're here for it, man.
Awesome, fellas. Well, have a good rest of your day. Best of luck on the rest of the auction.
Talk soon, man.
All right. See you guys.
Take care. He's a good guy.
Yeah, Kev, great guy. Again, check out Shortbox auctions ending tonight. They usually have a modern Raws on Mondays. I'm sorry, just Raw Mondays. Monday Night Raw. There you go. See, I was getting there. But I don't think it's every night, but they almost have an auction ending almost every night of the week, which is cool. But yeah, so and use code RoboPicto to get $15 off
the marketplace, $100 or more. Yeah, those guys are great. And app is easy to use. Interface is simple. Joe, what do we got?
Yeah, so showcasing a few books tonight. It's funny because you asked me what we got, and you actually can pick like whatever you want.
You want me to pull them up? You'll make some notes? All right, awesome. All right, so we want to do new editions?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
All right, excellent. You want to start with the Hulk 117?
Hulk 117, yep. This is a really nice fine to very fine 7.0. It looks from the front like a near mint.
Tell me you're pulling up notes. You're pulling up notes too?
Yeah, well, I'm pulling up the price list I sent you.
Oh, that's funny. I was pulling up the same thing, but
so this is a fine to very fine 7.0 for $35. Again, it looks like a 9.4, but it has a small. It's not a tape pull, but it's like a scrape on the back.
Okay, actually, I didn't drag in the back cover images.
Back covers, yeah, that's all right.
No, I foolishly didn't.
If someone is interested, we could always get them a back cover scan.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the front here, as you can tell, is just really killer. It's a nice copy.
Really, really great. You're getting a lot of perspective here from like three varying size characters. You got Kirby Crackle that isn't Kirby, which is cool.
Yeah, it's Herb Trimp, your guy there, who.
I know that you're not a big fan of Herb Trimp. I actually don't mind him.
No, I to start wasn't a huge fan of Trimp when I started collecting, but I've grown to appreciate Trimp. Did I say Trump?
No, you said Trimp.
I said Trimp. Okay.
Well, I've grown. Sure Trump has illustrated the Hulk ever, but
what's that?
I'm not sure that Herb Trump has ever illustrated the Hulk.
I'm gonna have to check my notes on that.
I'll have to check my notes.
But yeah, no, I think you're right. Herb Trimp. I've grown to appreciate him as time's gone on, and really just a pros pro from what I understand. Just hit all his deadlines, and sometimes tell like he was on a tight deadline, but he's getting that thing done. So
I think there's a couple guys who are just kind of strictly commercial artists, and like Herb Trimp is one of those guys. Like Joe Manilo is one of those guys where it's just like his work is good and he cranks it out. It's like, hey, here's the job that has to get done by Sunday. All right.
Yeah. Well, I think if I was an artist, I would be more in that Trimp line where I'm like, all right, I got this deadline on Sunday. All right, I got this. I'll get it done.
And, yeah, exactly.
Not winning any awards, but it's getting done.
Yeah. My job is to illustrate. It's not to entertain, I guess, Yep. All right.
It is cool stuff. It is Trimp throughout, which is cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Man. All right, next book.
Yeah.
And now, Joe, I'm sorry. So these are all available for sale.
Yeah, we're these actually aren't up on the site. We're just we're offering them here if anybody's interested.
This Rocky Lane 66, is this signed by Dick Giordano?
Signed by Dick Giordano, the one and only.
That's friggin' sweet. I didn't realize we had this.
Yeah, this is cool. It was one of the books that has been on my 2 grade pile. It's a Dick Giordano cover. It's from March of 1955. Dick also did the first Rocky Lane story in here. It's a 7-page story. But yeah, it's signed right there on the cover, Dick Giordano, and he's got a nice signature.
He does. Yeah, he does. You know what it is? What I love is that the circle I dot.
Yeah. Really cool.
It almost looks like he could sign it Dicko Giordano.
Yeah. Yeah. Dicko Giordano. So this is $55. Calling it a good -1.8. It does have an extra staple. I think the top staple is popped and someone added an extra staple there, and then there's a small spine split on the top left corner.
I know you're a fan of Charlton's. I'm a fan of Charlton's. I'm a fan of Westerns. I know that you all also like Westerns, but this is cool. Guy's about to get executed, and it looks like he's life spared.
And in bondage cover, if you're following Kevin's
in bondage cover, no Aqualad, but it's got bondage.
No Aqualad.
Oh man. All right. You want to jump to the next one?
Yeah.
Let's do it. You want to do that cool print? I'm not sure if that was I'm not sure who the artist was that you noted.
Yeah, I got the I actually never heard of the artist. I thought I grabbed the Kelly Frias one and I didn't, and I scanned the wrong one, but I figured it was still cool. So this is I had the notes. Hold on one second, Adam.
Absolutely.
If you want to talk about how cool it is.
Yeah. This is from Rick Sternbach. Now, if I'm not mistaken, these were they Soviet like illustrations published in something?
Yeah. They were published in.
They were very difficult to find any sort of info on. I know that you did a little bit of research. So if anyone knows anything, please let us know in the chat. And in fact, I'm going to pull up the chat right now because my comments are still having a hard time. I feel like we have not been engaging in that tonight. Yeah.
It's some paperback magazine from the 70s that a lot of these were covers on. We picked up a small collection. It's like 10 or 15. This is only $24 if anybody's interested. It is about 1114, a little bit bigger than 1114. The image itself is about 5 by 8, and then the outside border is about 1114. But yeah, $24 again. Picked up a few of these. Many of them were Kelly Frias paintings.
Kelly Frias, that's who it was.
Yep.
All right. Let's see here. All right, Who Done It with a Bonnet Stamp, Volume 1, Number 2. Great Golden Age book here.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Really cool cover. Awesome bonnet stamp. This is a good -1.8 for $90. The interesting thing, when I was pricing this one, the only sale was the Promise collection. And I think the Promise one was an 8.5 for like.
Oh, really? That was the only data you could find?
That was the only data on it was the 8.5 Promise, and I think it was either 22 or 25 or something like that.
What did it sell for?
25, either 2,200 or 2,500.
Okay,
or
gotcha.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I love when there's little data on it, because you can argue that it's scarce, or you can argue that no one cares about it. But if a higher grade sold for that,
that's
you
the
know, it seems
best.
like,
Someone comes up to your booth and they're like, "There's no data on this," and you can tell them it's rare. And then if someone comes up to your booth and they're like, "Hey, I got this to sell," you're like, "Well, there's no data on it. Nobody cares."
use it to your advantage. Yep.
Yeah.
Et cetera, means you either have a lot more examples or no more examples.
Or no more examples. Yeah. Yeah.
Weird War Tales number 75. This is cool. This like stylized swastika.
Oh yeah, look at that. I didn't notice it. Yeah, that. Well, it's like a space, right? It's what happens because he looks like a spaceman.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. I guess it gets kind of warped in space.
Yeah.
I made a reel that I've not posted yet. I got to drop in some overlays because I've been doing a little bit of research, but I have one where I compared Atlas War and DC War, and it really got me, looking at Joe Kubert's work up close. And Joe Kubert, I don't know why I've been sleeping on him, but I've been sleeping on him for far too long. He is absolutely exceptional.
Yeah, I like Joe Kubert. He's not one of my favorites, but I definitely can appreciate his style, and it's certainly unique. There's nobody quite like him. This one's a nice VFNM 90 for 75. No, I'm sorry, for $37. It's number 75 for $37, and it's a beautiful 90 copy. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Kubert, and worked for a long time.
I have his Golden Age Index up here, which is like a fanzine. That's gonna hit the site probably this week. That's cool because it highlights his later Golden Age work, and it's almost. I mean, it looks very different to what he was doing here. So you can see kind of how he evolved as an artist.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, I'm sorry, these thumbnails are just so tiny, so I can't see what's next. Oh, Batman 24.
Yeah, picked up a small Golden Age Batman collection. I think it had 3 books in it. So decided to put this one up. Did I actually give you a price on this one?
I'm not sure, Joe. Let me take a
No, I don't think I did. Hold on. I have it in my notes. If you want to talk about it, Adam, how cool it is.
I mean, Batman went in Rome, I'm always a fan of any Golden Age book promoting the war effort. So you have the Fifth War Loan in the right above the masthead there. I think this is neat. Just it should be the wacky adventures of Batman and Robin. Because really up until even the 60s era, it's all these covers are just a blast. Like it's always just like if I was a kid, I'd be buying this immediately,
Yeah, it's really cool. This one, the centerfold is detached, and then it's weird. The center wrap has like some markings on it. We should take some pictures for the website on this particular book. This one's priced at $350. Calling it a good -1.8. But yeah, just really, really cool. Cool Batman here. And you know what I was noticing? So, like I said, we picked up, I think, 3 issues in this collection. We did a trade with a guy on some books, and this one is much smaller than the 14 and the 15 that we picked up. Like the pages, the page quality, it goes from 68 pages to 52 pages.
Oh, interesting.
Talking about the war. So the shortage on everything, but also I think people realized that they could still get 10 cents for a book, and they could trim it down by 16 pages.
Oh yeah. I guess that's fair. I mean, yeah, I can't say I don't understand it. But if I'm a kid worth my nickel, I'd be a little upset by that. But
a little disappointed.
It is made up for the fact that I think Dick Spring's art is you're not gonna like it, but I do think Dick Spring might be my favorite Batman artist.
I'm not gonna like it?
Yeah.
Why is that? Because you're picking my favorite Batman artist?
Wait, Dick Spring's your favorite Batman artist?
I think so, yeah.
Wait, where does Moldoff fall? We do this like every week.
I think we do this every week. People have got to be sick of it because I'm sick of it.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Don't even entertain it then.
He's like top 8.
That's funny. He makes see when you say top 8, that means he's number 8.
Well, he's not top 5. He's like between 5 and 8.
Yeah, but no, listen, if someone says, hey, he's top 5, that means, okay, he could be 2, 3, or 4. If it's top 8, that just means he's number 8. Because
Yeah,
like
no,
he would have been like, oh, he's top 6 if it was number 6.
I just don't
Yeah,
think he can't crack the top 5.
for some reason, I don't know. Never mind. We don't.
Dick
we don't
Sprang,
have
I think, is not. Dick Sprang for me is number 1.
He is.
Yeah, I think he's
Okay.
number 1. Yeah.
I gotcha.
He's definitely top 2.
Just that's funny. That's very funny. Hold on, before where does Frank Robbins fall?
Well, I mean, top 5.
Okay.
He didn't work on Batman. Like, he didn't work on that many issues.
Frank Robbins or Shelley Moldoff?
Frank Robbins.
Yeah. Unexpected, number 122. The Phantom of the Woodstock Festival.
This one's cool. Yeah, she looks like she went to Woodstock, I guess.
Friggin' hippie.
This is a fine 6.0 for I think $35 on this one.
Yeah, I mean I'm a little surprised by this. I think as hot as Bronze Age horror is now, they're still affordable, you know?
Yeah, and the masthead, I know we're just talking about favorite mastheads. The masthead in this really pops because the contrast to the rest of the cover, like that red and blue on top of like the green. It's really cool. It's nicely done here. And again, just Bronze Age horror stuff, just killer.
Very neat. Guy's shadow from whatever she's walking into is neat.
Yeah, it's funny because at first you think it's her shadow, but then you're like, well, no, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it takes you a second.
Yeah. And I guess maybe people don't think that, but I think that. But I take a longer second to process things.
Andy Fisher saying, I don't think you can call Frank Robbins a Batman artist per se. I think if you drew Batman,
that's what I was saying, because he didn't work. He like filled in on issues.
Yeah,
but don't know if you can call him a Batman artist.
Try this one on for size. Who's my favorite Batman artist?
Are you asking me?
No, ask me.
Who's your favorite Batman artist?
Andy Fish, Batman 1939. It's a concept, it's not published, but he's still a Batman artist. I consider him a Batman artist.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I guess it all depends on how you
you've drawn Batman. I would say you're a Batman artist.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's fair.
We are getting asked from JS Payne what the Batman issue was. JS Payne, that was Batman number 24.
Yep. Calling it a good -1.8. The centerfold is detached, and that wrap has like some punch holes in it. We can send pictures if you're interested, but it is, what did I say, 350?
350. Yep.
Yep. 350.
Again, guys, I'm sorry that the comments we are getting filtered, so I'm not able to. If your comments are coming through, we haven't replied to them. I'm very sorry about that. But Andy T. Fishes is now coming up. They're all not coming up. He's saying Marshall Rogers, and I think that's all. I like Aparo.
I think Aparo's top 10 for me.
I also just moved up in the will, so.
You did?
Yep.
Oh, because of Marshall Rogers, or
I think because I chose the right Batman artist.
Oh, that's fair.
JS Payne is hunting a Batman 20 and a 227. Aren't we working on a 227 deal right now?
We are.
Potentially. Should I not have said that?
Well, it's not done yet.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that we're working on it, so there's potential that we do pick up a 227.
Yes. Yeah. There is potential that we're picking up a 227.
JS Payne, just drop us another DM, and you can also use the want list feature on our website to add that on there.
Whoa, we have a want list feature on the website?
Yeah, you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, do you not ever visit the website?
No, I visit I'm on the website every day.
Yeah, if you go to the first floor, the first thing you see is submit a want list or make an offer.
Oh wow, that's
Right. Yeah, I know you think I'm just up here eating Cheetos and Frosted Flakes all day, but I'm actually doing some work, you know.
Actually, we're all out of Frosted Flakes. I meant to put on the grocery list.
You're a liar. You're out of Frosted Flakes. Joe, we got 4 more books to showcase.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Amazing Spider-Man number 124. First Man Wolf, right?
First Man Wolf. Yep. Awesome book.
Is this a Ramita cover?
I think it is.
What are you chuckling about?
I'm laughing because it was like a weird pause between the two of us.
Oh, well, it's because you know what's funny? You were like this. I was doing the same thing, but I closed out of it. We're both trying to look at the CGC notes.
Oh yeah. Well, I was my original thought, the pause I had was, does this predate any of Marvel's other horror titles?
Oh, interesting.
Because like, is this like it is a Ramita cover? It's Kane Ramita on the inside. But I'm just because it's from September of '73. So what is the first Marvel like intro into horror? Like
The
Bronze
first-
Age.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's funny
a
because
good point.
we talk about how great Bronze Age horror is. Do you consider like Tomb of Dracula, Werewolf by Night, Ghost Rider, are those Bronze Age horror titles?
You know what's funny is when I organize things on the website, we have a Bronze Age horror tab that you can break down by publisher. And all right, so that's funny. I'm sorry, I'll finish my thought. Where you can break down by publisher, and I never know. I think Werewolf by Night I put into Bronze Age horror, and I think Tomb of Dracula put into Bronze Age horror, but Ghost Rider I do not.
Yeah, so because I was debating, we're organizing, getting ready for shows, and we're getting the stock ready, and I was putting away Tomb of Dracula's and Werewolf by Nights, and we have a Bronze Age horror section for our shows, and I didn't put them in the Bronze Age horror section, and I kind of go back and forth because Tomb of Dracula is 100% a Bronze Age horror title. Werewolf by Night is a Bronze Age horror title.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think of them different than like House of Secrets, House of Mystery.
Tomb of Dracula, Andy Fish saying is 1972. I think that's, according to Google, that's the first.
Yeah, it's funny. I looked up Tomb of Dracula and it's 1972. So I was gonna say I think Dracula's the intro then.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And then Monster and Frankenstein is 73. But yeah, I guess Ghost Rider is also considered a horror title, right?
What's that?
I guess Ghost Rider is also considered a horror title, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's like fringe. I mean, a skeleton with a flaming head. I feel like that's kind of a horror title now.
I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say so.
Ghost Rider is 72 as well.
Well, that's funny. So Ghost Rider, the magazine Enterprise's Ghost Rider, you consider him a pre-code horror?
No, I consider him a Western.
He's a ghost.
He is a ghost, yeah.
I don't know. All right. Vampirella number 8.
Vampirella number 8. This is a solid 7-0 here. And I was shocked. This was only $45.
This is a Vampirella that honestly doesn't make me uncomfortable. Like I could own this one and I'd be like, all right, this is fine.
Yeah.
Still a little skimpy, but not a big deal.
I like the alien in the background and you got the picture frame.
The picture frame's cool, yeah.
This has got really nice color. Find a very fine 7.0 for just $45.
Who's the artist, Joe?
That's a good question. I didn't get notes on Vampirella.
Let me see if I can find something. Ken Kelly.
Okay. It's a cool Ken Kelly cover.
Speaking of Ken Kelly, I think we have an eerie puzzle signed by Ken Kelly, right?
I think we do, yeah. Yep.
Up on the website.
Also features Tom Sutton art. I didn't look at the Tom Sutton art. We have this cool. I actually almost got it ready for the show, but this is great. This is a Tom Sutton Creepy Things book. If anybody's interested, I'll let you know.
That is neat.
I was debating whether or not to keep this because I'm such a huge Tom Sutton fan.
Is that what Tom Sutton looks like on the back?
I would imagine.
He's got a real Quasimodo thing going on, huh?
He's got a Hagrid look.
He's got a Hagrid. Yep.
Yeah. Could you imagine if this isn't Tom Sutton and they're just like, hey, let's just throw a random guy in the back.
Get this guy there, yeah. All right, Joe, we got two more books. You ready?
Yeah, but look at these books are great. I know we had one of similar. What was the last one we had?
It was Eerie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the magazines.
Well, wait, was it Erie? Because it reprinted like Tales from the Tomb, right?
Yeah, it reprinted Skywald.
Okay.
But yeah, these are cool. I think my favorite one of these, because I collect these too. The horrific one with the classic Don Newton bullet hole. There's actually the bullet hole like in the book, so it was printed
Oh,
with a hole in the book. So
that's
like,
right.
yeah, that one's really cool.
Into the first page. I didn't mean to rush you. I'm in a rush, but
Oh no, you're good.
all right, cool beans. Yeah, I think some of those magazines, I think they're I'm shocked that they go for what they go for. Like they should, you know, compared to compared to pre-code stuff.
On
like the magazines, because there was no code for magazines, right?
Oh,
like
you're talking about you're talking about those crazy like Tales from the Tomb and
weird Tales of the magazines, Witch's Tales. Yep. Strange Tales number 79. I was just telling someone about these the other day, and I can't think of who it was, but I mean, I'm shocked that the pre-Hero Atlas stuff is not like doesn't gain as much respect as it should, because you have so many prototypes in these.
Yeah, this one's cool. It's a solid copy. I know guys were after this one for a little while. I think it might have a Doctor Strange prototype, as you were saying, prototypes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. I could be mistaken. I'm trying to think. I don't think this made the list. I think this is about a VG. Actually, I have it right here, so hold on. Yep, this is a VG40 for 125. But really nice colors, and I just love the monster coming up the side of the mountain or whatever. Just great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely love this. December 1960. This is Kirby inked by Ditko. I think they're a solid team. And then Kirby inked by Ayers on the first story there. I was in the clutches of the living shadow.
Yeah, just super cool.
Yeah.
I know we talked about it before, but the Marvel should really adopt a pre-hero monster movie.
They absolutely should. Yeah, actually, I found this in the bookshelf out in the den the other day. But Marvel Monsters, it's a omnibus of all the pre-hero stuff.
Oh, with a new Eric Powell cover?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yep.
Or is it the Eric Powell stories on the inside? Because Eric Powell, I think, kind of did some of those pre-hero monster ones.
I think it's a mix.
That's cool.
Some of the early issues, and I think there might be some original stuff in here too.
Yeah, that's a great book. You should definitely give that a shot.
Yeah, it does have the Hulk prototype, which is cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. How much is Creepy Things, Joe? We're getting asked. The creepy book.
It is $75.
75 smacks.
Yep.
All right. Last but not least,
Wild Western
number 11.
Oh, sorry.
You take it away. Go. Fire away.
No, you're the cowboy here.
Whoa, Bucko. What's that an accusation of? I'm a team player.
I just meant like, if there's going to be one of us to talk about a cowboy.
I jest. From June 1950, Kid Colt raids Bad Man's territory. Classic Joe Maneely cover here. Really, really striking. Something I like about Maneely is his ability to really kind of zoom in and then zoom out. He could pack a lot onto a page, or he could pack very little onto a page, and either way, I find it very striking.
This is the Canadian edition. But yeah, all his covers are just very, very striking.
Yeah, and I can't talk about him enough. He's my absolute favorite artist of all time. And what's cool is that you're not going to find Maneely inked by anyone else, because he never did pencils. He just went straight to inks. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
Yeah. Oh, this is funny. The Canadian is a different story. Black Rider in Trapped by the Fog, whereas the U.S. is Kid Colt raids Bad Man's territory.
Yeah, it's interesting that you can tell they definitely just like picked stories from different Wild Westerns. So anyways, this is very good if anybody's interested. Solid copy for $100. This one you can tell it's Canadian. Obviously, like you said, Adam, the Black Rider. So that whole text is different then in the American.
Yeah. Yep.
And then obviously the Canadian edition right above the Wild Western part of Western is says Canadian edition there. And I think the inside ads, the inside front cover, the inside back cover, and the back cover, there's no color on any of the ads. It's just black and white ads.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
It's got a Russ Heath story in the interior. I guess it reprints the original Wild Western 11. It just has a different cover, but
yeah.
So the featured stories are just different. Yeah, cool book. So Joe, I'm sorry, $100?
$100 on that.
$100 for that puppy. What else we got, Joe?
Did you pull anything from the website?
I did pull a couple things from the website, yeah, but you know what? We're gonna share my screen, and I'm just gonna do a search because I don't know why I'm pulling up screenshots if I can just be doing that.
Oh,
if that's cool.
Better.
Because you had a list of things you wanted to show. It was a small list, but you wanna show it?
Yeah.
All right. Can you see that? I know I'm gonna have to do something there, but you can see
that. Yeah.
Okay. Nope. I'm gonna do it like this. Nope, but I'm gonna do it like this. Nope, but I'm gonna do it just like that. Okay, I like this better. All right, guys, homepage of the website here. The Daily Digest is updated daily. Joe is doing that. Our next in-person show is April 5th. But Joe, you want to pull up that list that you had, and I can.
I was going to start with Eerie number 13.
And actually, really quick, Joe, if I could, Andy Fish is going to take the creepy book.
Okay.
Guys, we just listed a whole batch of Spideys. I want to say from like 38 up, and then we had a couple odds and ends that we had added, but we're processing a big stack of Avengers books and whatnot. So go to the website and check those out. Joe, Eerie number 13.
Eerie number 13. Yeah, actually, why don't you show people how to? Oh, I guess it's pretty simple how to search.
Yeah, just yeah, but yeah. Lay it on me.
Oh, I'm sorry. The other Eerie 13 that we have, not the magazine.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, just give me 1 second. All right. The other Eerie 13.
Yeah, I think it came up when you searched Eerie 13.
There we go.
Yeah. So this is a good minus 1.8. It's available for is it $250, Adam?
It is $250. Good minus 1.8.
Yeah. Really cool book here from Avon, October of 1953. Great Hollingsworth cover. Just love the zombie skeleton guy. Just so cool. It's a solid copy. I'm actually going to pull it out to see what. Oh no, I'm not, because it's upstairs. It's funny. It's I was going to see why we call it a good 8. I think if there's a small spine split, if I'm not mistaken, Adam.
I think there is. You got a little bit of tape on the. Oh, because I have the bigger image show. You got a little bit of tape on the lower right-hand corner there, and I think the spine split is from the top down, if I'm not mistaken.
But it's a solid copy, and just not a book you see every day.
It's really cool stuff. I would say it's a solid 1.8. It's like it's structurally it's sound, but it's still a little rough.
Really cool book.
Yep. Yeah, I agree, man. Really, really neat. I like these Avons.
I do too. I'm a big fan of Avon publishing just in general. And I mean, Hollingsworth is just great. So the next one, Adam, was the Spooky 25, or I'm sorry, the Spook 25.
Oh yeah, Spook Comics 25, right? Yep. Which I'm not sure that's different, but lay it on me. What do you got?
Just a great LB Cole cover here. I know we did the show on Saturday and people were asking me about the LB Cole, and I knew since I just put away a bunch of our stock that we had stuff like this, and I just couldn't remember where it was exactly, but I love this cover. I love the masthead. I love how it pops on like the blue skeletons all around. Just so cool. Get a solid good plus 2.5 for I think 385.
385. Yep, good plus 2.5, 385. You're absolutely right. I think the door that he's coming through, plus the monochrome background is just it does make it pop. And LB Cole's use of color is freaking crazy. Like that guy was an absolute genius.
Yeah, they should teach a master class on LB Cole's use of color.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that.
Now the next book, Adam, I don't know if we sold it. I know you were working on a deal with a guy before we hopped on.
Yeah. Can we? Is there another book that you want to choose? Because I think we're gonna get that thing done.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good.
We can also take a look at it, and I could just mark it sold.
No, that's fine. Well, let's just look at something else. You wanna pull up the art? I know we showcased the art.
Yeah. Oh, Joe, we also just added these greeting cards.
That's I had the greeting cards up. Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. Now these are really cool. They're $30 a piece. We have 4 of them. Captain Marvel. I'm not sure what that is from. And then Doctor Strange.
This is from, I believe, Hulk 111. This is is it it's Sentry, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I think it's from Hulk 111. That image.
These are really cool.
That one makes me chuckle. The dialogue's funny. We just missed Valentine's Day for that one.
We did. These actually come with the envelopes too, which is cool. And the envelopes, if I'm not mistaken, are all different colors.
They are, yeah. So I don't think there's one assigned to certain ones. So
we're just kind of guessing which ones are which, but they are kind of cool that they come with the envelopes.
Yeah, those are cool, and those are the original ones from 1971. They're not the reprints that came out, I think, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, there's a ton of the reprint ones, and the reprint ones go for like $15 or $20. It's crazy.
Yeah. Guys who are breaking up the sets.
Yeah.
All right. Look at some other art.
Yeah, why not? So this is a really cool little Jinx page. Adam, what's this from again?
This is from Pep Comics number 134. And I foolishly, are you looking it up, Joe? I meant to add in a description last week and I totally forgot.
Yeah, I know we were gonna put in the artists for all of the art, but this is just really cool little Jinx story.
Yeah, I mean, 175 for this page. I'm a believer of just buy original art when it's affordable, and at 175, I feel like that's a solid price. Again, I know it's a little Jinx. It's not anything super special or spectacular, but if you look at comic art like a fine piece of art, to me it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, 1959. It's tough to find art from really any vintage art. It seems like it goes to auction, so to find it anywhere else is not the easiest thing. This is a Joe Edwards.
Joe Edwards, okay.
Yep, which is cool.
And then, now I think we have a couple of pages from this issue, right?
Yeah, I think there's this one. This is the first page, because obviously has the first panel is Little Jinx Let It Rain, and then is the next one from the same issue?
It is. Hold on. I'm sorry. We have the next one's from Pep Comics 164, which is also a Little Jinx splash page.
I was gonna say I thought they were both splash pages.
Yeah. Yep. Pep 164. They're both page 18, which is funny.
That is pretty funny. It just they had a system.
Yeah. Right. The model. This is funny. It looks like she's getting chased by some giant fly, and he's just laughing about it. Oh, but it's his plastic fly. That's great.
How much is this one, Adam?
This is also 175.
175. Yeah, this one's cool because it's like half a splash almost.
Yeah. Yep.
With her. So this one is also, I think it also is Joe Edwards. It is. Yep. And these issues, like, I mean, the one earlier, to even find that issue, that Pep run from the 50s is tough. So 1959, so to even find a Pep 134 is not easy. So just imagine how hard it is to find the original art.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
And
but this is really cool page.
I'm not sure what Pep 134 goes for in high grade, but I'm curious if it goes for as much as a page of art from it, you know?
Yeah, like I said, I love picking up those Peps because they are super hard to come by. I just love the 50s Peps. I love the feel to them. The cover has like the side view, and it's all the little like head figures and stuff of who's in the issue, which is cool. I'm just pulling it up on eBay right now, and the Pep, I found a Pep 134 VG Fine 50 for $90. It's a cool cover, and again, just a tough error to find.
So the fact that you can find a book for $100, you can get a piece of art from that book for $75 more is crazy. Joe, crazy. Freddie's asking if we can show the TOS 32. I guess he's been asking about it. Freddie, I'm really sorry, man. Again, the chats, guys, your comments are getting filtered tonight. So my apologies for that. You mind if I pull that up really quick, Joe?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, let's see here. Tales of Suspense. Freddie, the TOS 32. It's a good +25. It's got some sort of a stamp. Maybe it's Indianapolis. It's Indianapolis. Jim, you pulling up some notes on this?
No, I was actually looking up something else. I got a email that I was pulling up, but
don't worry about it. I will take care of it. TOS 32. Great cover here. Man in the Beehive asking about the cover attachment. Freddie's, I don't have it in front of me. I can send you some up close photos, but I know it's got a little bit of spine wear here. But if there's no note that the cover is detached, then the cover is certainly attached. We can definitely let you know about that after the show, because we're gonna have to dig it out of the boxes. Again, Kirby Inked by Ayers here. Joe, what do you got?
We'll send you pictures, Freddie. So and we'll confirm that it's attached.
Absolutely, but it's cool. Definitely a cool book. All right.
Well, Adam, I think that's all I have tonight.
Yeah, I think it was a good one, Joe. That we've been on for about 2 hours now. So
yeah, guys, tomorrow night we are going to be live with the 3 Men in a Basement guys on YouTube. You can check out the link in our blog to get that. But it's just at 3 Men in a Basement, I think, on YouTube.
Are they not? They're not going live on IG. It's a YouTube show.
No, I think it's a YouTube show. Yeah, I don't think they ever go live on IG.
Okay.
But yeah, so that'll be at 9:15. We're going on. We're going to showcase some of the books that we'll be bringing to Little Giant this weekend, April 5th. Going to be a great show. We're really looking forward to it. It's our first show where we really have a lot of inventory. We've been processing inventory all winter.
I would say that it's, Joe, something that we should celebrate is I think in 2 months it's our first full year in business.
Yeah, Kate was actually saying that we should get a cake because she was like, well, because we just paid for the next year subscription for our website.
Yes.
And so she was asking, oh, so it's been a year. And I was like, well, it's been a year since the website's been on, but it's really, I told her like May-ish is when we really started.
It's been a year since we peered into the crystal ball and decided, hey, we should maybe start building our own website.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And we had a little bit of knowledge. But yeah, no, so we'll be going live tomorrow night with the 3 Men in a Basement guys. Our regular show on Thursday, Whatnot at 5:15. Of course, Little Giant on Saturday. Is there something else I'm missing, Adam? Oh, of course, tonight, Shortbox Auctions.
Tonight, Shortbox Auctions, they end at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, yep. Yeah.
So yeah, so guys, yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week with a regular claim show. That'll be with Adam, myself, and hopefully Andy T. Fish, if he can make it through clams that day. So
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for Kevin for coming on from Shortbox. Guys, check out the app. Check out the RoboPicto auctions that end tonight. Also use code RoboPicto to get $15 off any purchase of $100 or more over there.
Link to the auctions is in our bio. It's also at the top on the top banner on our website. So
subscribe below.
Subscribe below. Yep. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Joe McNabb, Northeast Indemnity, Johnny.
Oh, hi, Joe. What's up?
At the moment, my blood pressure.
Too much work?
No. Prospect of having to pay off on a $100,000 life insurance policy.
Uh-oh.
Fella I think you know, Johnny. Art Wesley.
Oh, sure. Been a pal of mine for years. Reporter.
Yeah. Apparently he's working on a story right now that somebody doesn't want him to report.
What do you mean?
Night before last, he got beat up in an alley. Yesterday, a car made a pass at him at high speed.
What about today?
It's early yet, Johnny.
Oh, yeah, sure. But let's hope it's not too late.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. From Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Home Office, Northeast Indemnity Affiliates, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Big Scoop matter. Expense account item 1, $18.40. Transportation and incidentals to New York City. I called Art Wesley's paper. He wasn't in and nobody seemed to know where he was. Then I remembered a small bar called Tony's over on 3rd Avenue. I took a cab, that's item 2, $1.25, and found him in a corner booth.
Sorry, Johnny, no bodyguard. The informants I'm working with will take off fast if they spotted one. No informants, no story.
That insurance policy your paper took out on you, who's the beneficiary?
A dear departed wife, Joan.
Departed? I thought...
We split up a couple of months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Art.
We were living in 2 different worlds. I wanted a home and family. She wanted a trip to the moon every night.
Where is she now?
Who knows? On her way to the moon, I guess.
Hey, look, this story you're working on, Art...
It's hot, Johnny. And big, real big. A national gambling syndicate, and run by a guy right here in New York.
Who?
I'm getting close, but I'm not sure yet. When I am, then out come my articles.
What's this guy gonna do when you push him into a corner? Look, I'm worried about you.
Look, Johnny, I'm not as foolish as you think. I've got his name written down and put in a safe deposit box with what evidence I got. That's my real insurance.
Oh, Art, look, we've been friends a long time. I'm not gonna let you do this alone.
Sorry, Johnny. I've got to go it alone.
Since I'd gotten nowhere with Art, I decided to try his wife, Joan, even though they were separated. I found her in an apartment on East 68th, but she was hardly what you'd call cooperative.
Look, Mr. Dollar, so you're a friend of Art's. At the moment, I'm not.
Mrs. Wesley, your marriage with Art is none of my business. But that insurance policy his paper took out on him is. And incidentally, you're still the beneficiary.
So?
So he could be in danger, those articles he's writing.
Why doesn't he drop it?
Oh, look, you know Art better than that.
Then what am I supposed to do about it? That story is his business. How I feel about things is my business. And come to think of it, I can't see that either of those things is your business.
Item 3, $1.80 cab fare to police headquarters in the office of my old friend, Detective Lieutenant Rastelli.
Sure. I know about those attempts on Art's life.
So I talked to him and got nowhere.
He told me the stories about a national gambling syndicate.
It's more than he told me.
Supposedly the big boss is here in New York. Now, what are you going to do about it?
Look, the minute Art quits thinking he's got to hit the jackpot all by himself and lets us in on it, we'll give him all the protection he... Lieutenant Rostelli. Yeah, just a minute. It's for you, Johnny.
Oh, thanks. Hello?
Art Wesley, Johnny. They told me at your hotel where to reach you.
Anything new, Art?
I'm leaving town for a few hours. This could be it, Johnny. Tonight could be the jackpot.
Well, listen, let me go with you.
Sorry, I gotta go alone. It's part of the deal.
Art, it could be a trap.
I can take care of myself. Call you when I get back. Wish me luck.
Well, look, wait. Art! Art! Item 4, $1.80 cab to Art's apartment, where I persuaded the manager to let me in. I was looking for anything that would give me a lead. Then, near the phone on a scratch pad, I found where he'd written the word Watika several times. Sure, Lake Watika, upstate. Art had a lodge there. Item 5, $25 even for a rented car. It was a 3-hour drive to Lake Watika, which was bad enough. But to top it off, it started to rain, and rain hard. When I finally got to the highway turnoff, the side road to the lake was a mass of mud. Then I got 2 quick breaks. It stopped raining, and I spotted the 6-mile road into Art's place. Half an hour further on, I saw a light. Art's car was parked at one side, and the front door of the lodge was wide open. When I got to it, I saw why. Art was lying in the doorway. Yeah, he was the one who wanted to hit the jackpot. But you can't hit the jackpot with a slug, particularly when that slug is right between your eyes. I drove to the sheriff's office and reported it. Sheriff Tompkins and his boys took over. But in the darkness and the mud, they could only make a routine check. He asked me to meet him at the lodge the next morning, so I did.
Buddy was right here in the doorway, huh, son?
Yeah, Sheriff, I didn't move it.
And Wesley probably got shot when he answered the door by somebody standing out there on the ground.
Because of that bullet hole in the roof?
Yeah. Right over that shelf that's stocked with canned goods, sugar, salt, and the like. Apparently, he used this place regular.
Yeah, he used to do some of his writing here. Were you able to determine time of death?
Coroner says between 10:30 and 11 last night. What time did you arrive?
About half an hour after the rain stopped. I'd say 11:45.
Means it was still raining a good half hour after the killing. No wonder we found no tracks.
Hey, look, Sheriff. Art was working on a hot story about a national gambling syndicate. Could be that he found out who the boss was last night, the hard way.
Oh? Then you think the killer was from out of town? Maybe New York?
Yeah. Now, where would he stay? Is there a hotel around here?
Lake Watika Inn, just outside the village, about 6 miles from here.
Sheriff, I'll check it out.
The guests here at the inn, Mr. Dollar? Well, we have only 2 who checked in yesterday. It's the off-season, of course.
Yeah, clerk, who are they?
Well, Mr. Cooper yesterday afternoon and Mr. Buckley around dark.
Uh-huh. They still here?
Mr. Cooper is sitting right out there on the terrace, but Mr. Buckley paid in advance and left quite early this morning.
I see. Did Buckley give any reason for stopping here?
He said he was a traveling man and didn't like to drive in the rain.
Okay. I'd like you to write down a description of him. I'll pick it up on the way out.
Oh, I'll be glad to, sir.
Hi.
Oh, good morning.
Enjoying the scenery?
Yes, immensely. Oh, sit down, won't you?
Sure, thanks. My name's Dollar.
Mine's Cooper. You just check in?
I'll just drop by.
I came yesterday.
Uh-huh. Pretty up here this time of year.
Yes, certainly is. I really enjoy places like this in the off-season. It's a nice change.